What's up, guys? Before we get into today's podcast, we have a sponsor for today's video. We really want to thank the guys out at Blue Mon.
Shout out Blue Mon.
This video. If y'all don't know about Blue Mon, they're an amazing hair styling and product company based out of Canada that has all kinds of products that we've all been using recently. So people are always asking what we do for our hair, so we're going to take you guys through it right now.
All right, guys, you know I'm a hat guy, but when the hat comes off, I like to treat my hair with the best products out there. The Discovery Kit is the all-in-one kit for your hair. This kit comes with half ounce of each product so you can try them all to see what works best for your style. The best part about the kit is that it costs less than one of the full-size products themselves, so you can be confident in your future purchase. You get to give them all a try. Using
the pre-styler best prepares your hair for the post-styling product of your choice. For me and my thicker hair, I've found that the Marikai pre-styler stacked with the Cavalier molding clay works best for me.
All right, guys, for me, I like to pre-style with the Ascend Volume Cream, and then I stack it with the Monarch Matte Paste. Yeah, so I don't use too much hair product, so this is just the perfect amount. It's a little subtle drop. Put in my hair, it gives it that nice little texture, volume, and that does the job for me.
If y'all want to try any of Blue Mon's incredible lineup of products, you can use code LEGACY for 10% off, or you can just click the link in our description. That'll take you right there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and again, huge thank you to Blue Mon for sponsoring the podcast. And now back to the show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Legacy Loading. This is a episode.
It's an episode. It could be potentially episode 1 of a new series.
Yeah, possible first episode of a new thing we're trying out. So it's going to be a shorter video, but we're going to try a little Q&A, right?
Yeah. So the big thing that we love about the podcast is the community and talking to you guys. And so every week we bring a guest on and we bring one of you guys on at the end of the pod. But for this one, we actually wanted to ask you guys questions directly. And so we could, feel like we're talking to y'all. Yeah. So we really appreciate the support that you guys have been giving. And we do want to do these relatively regularly so we can be in touch with you guys.
Yeah, so we're gonna try this out. Give us the feedback in the comments. Tell us what you guys think.
Drop any questions for future Q&As in the comments.
Yeah, questions for future Q&As or any ideas, things we could do, things we could improve on, things we could fix.
Yeah.
But we're gonna give this a try. And also, we might try a mukbang. So we might try videos where we're eating or we're trying out food while also potting.
That actually can take us really nicely into the first question, which is what's the dream for the pod? And in this moment right now, that's exactly what we're doing. We're experimenting with maybe filming multiple videos per week, or maybe we do something more fun. Like he said, like we're eating food, we're trying doing challenges together. Dorian would be in on those as well. And then we stick to the guests still weekly, but if we wanted to expand and film the pod 2 or even 3 times a week, we'd want to vary the content a little bit. So that's one of the dreams.
For me, dream for the pod. I just want it to be like a household name. Like I don't want it to just be a fitness community. I don't want it to just be teenagers, early 20s. I want everyone to be watching this pod and everyone to get something out of it, even if it's just entertainment. Like if you just like to watch us talk, and it's not always has to be so motivational or inspiring. You could just enjoy listening to us. And,
I think that's the beautiful thing about the podcast specifically is what we found is even right off the beginning, 2-3 episodes in, we started getting like really serious messages about how much it's changed them. And so like, that's really like, I feel like you can make the biggest impact here, right? Like Instagram is one thing, YouTube is another thing, but like podcasting actually can change people's lives. And so the more people that we can reach with the podcast, the more lives we can potentially change. So the dream to me is also, same thing, like impacting as many people as we can.
Yeah. I didn't expect the pod to be so, impactful on so many people. Like this is something we wanted to do just for fun, like that we feel like we had stuff to say. We always had conversations at night, and to think that now it's like changing people's fucking lives and making them make decisions to change their life is surreal. It makes me take this a lot more serious than when it first started.
Definitely.
For sure.
Like seeing y'all's when you tag us in posts, when you send us messages, like we see it all. And when you guys like this morning, Joe shared someone's post where they literally just stood up in front of the camera, admitted that they weren't super comfortable in front of the camera, but then said like reference the pod and said, I'm just going to do this thing. And like, we love to see that. We love to see y'all like putting what we say into action. So
shout out Joe Sins. Yeah. Question 2, most eye-opening moment in life, or let's just say in Texas so far.
Since we've been in Texas.
Yeah, since we've been in Texas.
Since we've been in Texas.
What do you got? You go first.
I think
eye-opening. I'm trying to like define that. Like, what do I think?
Yeah,
what
not like impactful, but like, so to me, eye-opening means like expanding your horizons. Like, when I came into Houston, what I had dreamed, like I said, we've talked about this before, like what I was thinking I was going to get out of it in the long run, I'd surpassed that immediately.
Times a million.
So like the most eye-opening thing for me is realizing how accessible people can be and the potential just being here and being talented and working hard. So like, also just seeing everyone around you doing that as well, creating, making a name for themselves, like doing what they came here to do. That is just eye-opening in general. Seeing people do that every day, being like, this is, it's incredible.
I'd say for me, it's physically seeing every day these people working, grinding, people that you see on your phone screens or your computer screens, like actually physically seeing these people work is just like crazy to me. Like I've said this before, but I was biggest fan of Suge, Malcast, James, everyone, and now
Nabil.
Nabil, don't even get me started. Nabil, like physically watching him work. I remember the first time I saw. I guess the first time I saw Nabil shooting in person. I was like, it's real. Like that's him right there. Like he's creating right now. Like, and just realizing that these are real people and they're really out here. And it was just so cool to see them for the first time working like before my eyes. So
definitely,
that's my
I remember the very first like athlete, if you want to call it that, event I ever went to was in New York City when Max, Heidi, Christian, Charlie all came to New York City for the New York pop-up. And like I had been watching Christian on YouTube for however long it was, but then like actually seeing Christian, Heidi, and Max like walking across the street in New York, like seeing that people that you watch for so long physically for the first time, it's still like, whoa. It's like, it's very, very like.
And you talk to them and you realize they're real people.
Exactly. Like the progression of relationships with these people is so crazy. From the first time you say hello to them to the first time you hear them call you by your name, like, oh, he knows who I am or she knows who I am. And now to like being in their houses or like filming a podcast with them. Like there's so many levels and so many progressions of relationships with these, more famous people, whatever you want to call it. But it is just so interesting how that all changes over time.
It's possible. Like I remember the first time you took me to Alphaland, you and Dorian. And you're like, come on. I was like, Christian's in. I'm like, I don't want to. I feel weird. Like who the fuck am I? Like I can't go in there.
Oh,
it's all like
this is before Alphaland was open.
Yeah, and I was very scared to go in there because I knew Christian's there. Like I didn't want him to be like, who is this guy? Like because it was just strictly athletes and like workers. Yeah, and like now he's
influencers
on our podcast.
Influencers are
it's
regular
insane.
people. that's the whole point of that tangent.
Yeah, it's insane.
Biggest setback so far, I guess personally, professionally, however you want to take that.
Biggest setback so far, I would guess since we came to Texas, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I had any major setbacks, knock on wood, but like minor things, like if I'm struggling mentally with something that's going on in my outside life, and then trying not to let that reflect on my work or put me in like a creative rut where like my head's not in the right spot, so I can't come up with things or I can't create. So I don't know.
The reason why I struggle with this question personally is because like I can think of a few events where like I could have considered it a setback, but the way that I think about it is just like an opportunity. So I was just like, when one door closed and someone might think, oh, this happened, that's a setback. I was thinking, okay, now I'm free to do X, Y, and Z. And so I don't know. I don't want that, like as tacky as that sounds, like perceived setbacks can also be thought of as like doors closing and doors opening. Yeah.
A bigger door could be opening, but at the time you don't realize that because right now you're just so focused on the setback. You're like, fuck.
Right. And it changed all the time. Like you could think the craziest setback in the world is one thing. And then next day you're like, oh, actually that was no big deal.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't like to talk about setbacks. Let's keep this positive. All right, next question. Here we go. This one's great. Fucking insane. Where do you see yourself in 30 years?
When 50 something, bro.
First of all, I hope I'm alive. That's the first thing. 30 years is fucking crazy.
Yeah, 55.
But 30 years, dude, I don't know. Like people's dream is always like retire and like, but like I can't see myself ever not working. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Like that, but that's because you don't consider it work. You're just doing what you love.
Exactly. So that's like.
So you're just saying when you're 55 or 54, you just want to keep doing what you love.
Like to me, like photography is my passion, like making stuff. So I never see myself like putting down the camera, right? Just because I'm older, you know, like just, no, I mean, you're just doing it in a different way. Like you're, you know, it's
crazy. People,
I don't know how to explain it, but
no, I know what you mean. But like people who, let's say you just take a random guy that's working 9 to 5 because he has to, and his dream is photography. When he retires, when he's 55,
he's gonna pick the camera up.
Exactly. Yeah. His dream is going to be to do that you're doing right now.
I never thought about that. So
when
people retire, it's almost like then they pick up their passion.
Yeah.
like golf or something, you know?
Yeah. They travel, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so if you do that, if you are some way finding a way to make your profession what you love, you don't retire. You just keep doing it until you want to do different things.
That's fucking, I never thought about that. I really never thought about that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like people, when you retire, that's when you like have time to pursue your passion and pick that camera up or go golfing or travel.
Right.
Fuck. We're fucking doing that shit now, man. You know?
Yeah.
Damn.
Shit.
All right.
Cool.
What we got?
What do you look for in a romantic relationship?
Oh shit. Go first.
I think it varies. I think it really depends. It depends on where you're at. It depends on what you're looking for. I think the biggest thing is you need to be very sure about what you want, because if you get into any sort of relationship, whether it's casual, whether it's someone that's your boyfriend or girlfriend, if you don't know what you want, you are just setting yourself up for failure, because you're not being clear with that person and you're not setting expectations for them or for yourself. You start just going through the motions. And so I think what I look for in a romantic partner changes all the time based on what I'm needing in my life. And so, yeah, without getting into specifics.
No, I agree. I think timing is everything, right? So before I came to Texas, I had a girlfriend. I loved her, still care about her and everything, like nothing but respect for her. But I literally had to leave her in order to come here, which was like hard as fuck. Don't get me wrong. But the timing was just off in life. Like I had to accept that. I had to let that go in order for me to come here. Now picture I stayed down, right? I stayed and I wouldn't be here, you know? So I had to make that sacrifice. But now I also believe in timing, you know? If things are meant to be, like down the line,
100%.
It'll work out.
100%.
But I know me right now, I'm so focused on myself, which is okay. You know, it's all right. I got to be a little selfish right now because I have goals. And right now, all my focus is on work. So if I try to fit someone in the picture, they're not going to get 100% of me, which is,
I say that all the time.
It's all about timing. So
I say that all the time.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like I don't feel bad saying that I don't have time for a relationship right now, but it's just facts. Like right now I have all my attention on work and growing myself.
Right. Like if you care about somebody, then you should want to give as much as you can of yourself to that person. And it's not fair to that person that you in theory love if you give them 10% of your time, because 90% of the time you're chasing your goals or you're working or whatever it is. Like
exactly. Our biggest thing was time. Like I was always editing. I was always out shooting. I was always doing this and that. So, and
again, like if it is meant to be, like y'all will stay in touch and whatever, like, but y'all both have to figure your shit out. Like, I don't know. I've seen it too many times where people make that professional compromise to be with someone rather than chase or do what they want to do professionally, and they end up not working out. And then they're like, well, fuck, like there was 5 years that I not wasted, but 5 years that like I could have been doing that. And like in theory, you and that person could have had a better relationship after that point. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Yeah.
Because some people, they're doing what they love, but then their partner also is like, oh, I'm on board, you know? And Alex Toplin, perfect example, right? Right. My ex-girlfriend would have fucking left him like a year ago just because, but like Alex's girlfriend or fiance, she's super, she supports him and she's like, listen, I'm here for it. Like, I know,
cooks his meal prep and shit sometimes.
Like, you're about to be an Olympian. You have a coach, like you have clients. Like I know, like your time is really into that. Like obviously,
bro, it just hit me like us talking to Alex in Tampa on that trip that long. Like he was still working a regular job then.
Yeah,
that dude. Yeah, we gotta have Alex back on a podcast.
No, we said it. Remember last pod with him? We were like, we're gonna have to do a follow up after I go
he's
to
about
Olympia.
To step on the Olympia stage in December. Ridiculous.
Dude, he spoke it all into existence. Literally everything he said.
Would you go mobile for the podcast? That's actually another answer to a question that we talked about for dreams for the podcast. For sure, we definitely want to do that. Like, there's only so many. I really don't love the idea of doing like remote pod, like having someone like zoom in or anything like that. Like I'd love to be in person. And so like, let's say someone's in California that like for whatever reason can't come here. It'd be so dope to go meet them.
We go to that way. We go to Cali.
Yeah.
Bring Mighty, obviously.
Bring the kit.
We hop on someone's studio or we do it running somewhere. And that is definitely a goal, like for sure. But that's a little more advanced down the line.
Yeah.
We're trying to really figure out here first, you know, and get a good rhythm going. And
I really like the live podcast that Impulsive did that one time where they literally just like, it was like a several hour, it was a stream, but they were basically just sitting down and they had a booth at an event. Yeah. That'd be so cool to like go to like
it's like this right now,
like an expo, right?
A crowd, yeah.
Right. Exactly. Like an expo. And you just like, get someone in and it's literally just like a live feed of just conversation.
Yeah. Comment down below. If we ever did like a live show where like
at Alphaland,
literally a crowd, we could do it at Alphaland maybe like every summer shredding. that's what people look forward to. Like, oh, at 1:00, Legacy Loading Pod in the back or something. Like,
yeah, next to the dumpsters.
that'd be cool. But comment below. Like, you guys gotta. We're not gonna plan this shit if no one's gonna come. You know.
How do you, LT, come up with ideas for shoots? In general.
Well, I would say I have a very like creative brain, which is like just
special.
Yeah, my brain is kind of special. Like, I don't know where I come up with half this shit, but I owe it a lot to like having the guys around me, like Harry and Sush. Like, if you guys saw the last Young LA reel with the 2K, like a lot of that, the ideas, they come on set. You know, we didn't come there with all those ideas. It kind of just like comes sporadic from me, Harry, bouncing off each other, and then Sush chiming in, and then we just, all of our brains come together. So I owe a lot of it to the people around me who help bring the visions to life. And because listen, I can't do this myself, you know, and having other people chime in, having other people come up with ideas, it all comes together, and that's how we make some special shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely evolves over time, for sure. Like, you have the idea, oh, let's go shoot at this location. And then you get there and you're like, oh, what if we utilize this more? What if, like, you know, you don't always plan for it. But if you got a creative mind, then like you really, all you need to do is be there and be in that place. And then you'll start to see the vision come to life.
What about you for YouTube right now? Like, how are you coming up with the ideas for the videos?
So like at random times during the day or at any point, I'll just think of an idea and I'll write it down in my notes. And so like I have a note of all these ideas, collaborations, video ideas that we can do. Yeah. And so like I don't always think of it on the spot. I always have like, you know, a list of things.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do too. But
I know Isaiah Miranda, he showed me his phone one time. It was notes. It was like this: scroll. Yeah. All like skit ideas and like just
inspiration.
Crazy.
Inspiration doesn't, you know, you can't force it. It doesn't come all the time right when you need it. So like, you know, if you're in the shower all the time, you're probably thinking about like, oh, what if I did that? What if I made that TikTok? What if I made that post? Go write that down and then have that be your bank. Yeah. And that way, whenever you're in a creative rut or whatever, you just go back there. Yeah,
definitely, bro. Writing, I would say writing things down, like physically writing stuff down is the best thing to do.
You just got a journal, didn't you?
Yeah, I just bought a new journal.
And you're about to start YouTube and you want to compete.
Yeah, well, I'm revamping my YouTube. I do have a YouTube. It exists. I have videos out there, but
What's your plan for that?
For YouTube?
Yeah.
I just think like, I gotta stop saying like so much. That's another thing. Do I say like way too much? But I just think that our lives are fucking dope. Like the shit we do day in and day out. And it kills me that I'm always it doesn't kill me. I love my job. It kills me that I'm always documenting everybody else's life. And I think I want to save these days for myself too. I want to have memories. I want to build that YouTube, that catalog of my life, and take people behind the scenes of the dope shit that we do, you know, and give it a different perspective of myself, my perspective of the day.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun. Yeah.
Got a ZV-1?
Sub to the channel. Yeah, I bought a ZV-1. Shout out Legacy Loading Podcast that put me on, James English. But yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Similar to an earlier question, what's the most important thing you've learned this year? This year has been, I think this might have been the most transformational year of my life, starting from January. We moved here.
100%.
Yeah. The most important, honestly,
it's so hard.
It's so hard. A lot of stuff that I'm finding are just reconfirming what I already sort of knew from a macro scale, but now I'm seeing it put into practice. I know that's very vague, but it's intentionally so. Like you learn that things, I don't know. I don't know how I can say this.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. I think trusting your gut is really, really something that I learned that's been transformational for me most of the time. How you're feeling on the, like your gut is right.
It's right most of the time.
It's right most of the time. And that's to say that like there's something in your brain that's telling you something's about this is this, but like for whatever reason, the part about your thinking brain is telling you, no, like that's not what it is. Like it's something else. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be this. It's gonna be that. So your gut is, I don't know.
No, I know what you're saying.
Listen to that shit.
No, I actually agree. Like just listening to your gut, obviously, and also just like instilling that like fearless mentality where like, let me try this. Let me go say hi. Let me go take that trip. Let me book that flight. Let me fucking just
get uncomfortable, bro. Just get
so hard. Like all the people around me who are successful as fuck are successful because they stepped out of that comfort zone. They started doing shit that no one else wanted to do. that's the reason they're successful. Like they weren't scared to film that YouTube. They weren't scared to invest in that business. They weren't scared to spend that money on that camera.
Or maybe they were, but they did it anyways, right?
Or maybe they were and they did it anyway. But guess what? It pays off, because people that take those risks, the people that make the investments in themselves, they're the ones that end up successful, you know?
Yeah.
The people watching other people succeed are the ones that never make it. They just sit back and they're like I got so tired of looking at my Instagram being like, why am I just watching people do things that are fucking dope? Watching people live these cool lives. Like, I want to be these people. I want to be the people are watching, you know? And then that's when you instill that mentality in your brain. Like, fuck it. Like, I got to do something. Let me do something.
And after you do it enough times, like, like going up to someone and saying like, hey, like it's uncomfortable the first time. It's uncomfortable the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time. But like, if after enough practice of getting uncomfortable, getting outside your zone, like that stuff becomes so much easier. Yep. It becomes second nature. It becomes easier for you to do those things. That's sort of like, again, like we're talking about finding the edge, like what you think is not possible, you go and do that, and that becomes regular, right?
Like we're not scared to ask anybody to come on the pod, because like we know who we are. We know like, and we're
proud of it.
And we're proud of it. Yeah. And we're like, listen, let's ask him. Like, no one's out of reach. And then, like, and when you still that,
it's the same thing. It can't hurt to ask.
That literally correlates with everything.
Yeah. It can't hurt to ask, can't hurt to try, can't hurt to do this. You got to think about like the real true pros and cons. Yeah. Your feelings getting hurt don't count as a con. It's for real. Think about the potential upside, career changing, life changing. And the con is you get your feelings hurt, you get shut down. Yeah. Like you're back where you started.
Corny quote, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I'm sure everybody's heard that a million times, but couldn't be more true.
What's the biggest pod inspiration?
Biggest pod inspiration. I'm gonna say Impulsive, bro. I fucking love Impulsive. I think what they built is so cool, because I think the guests are all over the place. It's not like there's no niche, there's nothing. It's just
fun.
They really run it everywhere, wherever they're at. They just run it, and you could tell they're having fun. It's not work at all. Like the slightest bit. They got sponsors, they got everything. It's a full blown business, and it's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, I think that's something that we definitely would be fun to incorporate, like we said, into like some food challenges, some more fun videos, some more Q&As. Like we can get a little bit more just, you know, like we like to be educational. We like to be, you know, inspirational if we can, but like sometimes that can come in different ways. You know, like we said, we were inspired by Impulsive, and that's not the most educational podcast in the world, but it's entertaining, and it's a platform, and it's a way that this platform is used, and it's very successful. So, you know, what you can learn from that is great.
Hell yeah. Dude, I love Impulsive.
Yeah.
Logan Paul pod, legacy loading.
That's going to happen.
Some fucking day. Mark my words.
Is TikTok still an app to get noticed?
Yeah.
Definitely.
100%.
Yeah.
I always tell everybody, like, fucking go crazy on TikTok. Post 3-4 times a day.
You know what's crazy?
The reach is now Instagram's turned to TikTok, but
yeah, I don't know. Can you help me? Let's talk through this, because TikTok is a no-brainer, but none of us are doing it. We're not on the pod. We're not doing it with the pod yet. We're not doing it on our own personal stuff. And we always preach, like, I know we're saying do as we say, not as we do, but for real, like it is a great platform to grow your shit. You guys see people on Instagram and they have 150K, and it's because they have 3 million on TikTok. So like 150K is very, very impressive on Instagram, because that's where you can convert your audience. That's where you can start building businesses, whatever. So like, you know, starting out on TikTok to get your name out there is crucial.
Yeah. I would say I'm neglecting TikTok because of my IG growth. Like I'm seeing success from my IG, and it's growing. And it's like, I don't even want to put energy into TikTok, because like I want to focus on my IG that's growing right now as we speak. And if I start TikTok, am I like putting less time into IG? And, but you know what? You're right. I can't think like that. Like the reels I'm posting to IG, there's no reason I shouldn't throw them on TikTok.
You're already doing it.
Just spread it on all the platforms. Yeah. It's going to reach other people.
Yeah, exactly. So. And like y'all, if like I used to be at a point where I was posting reels and TikToks all the time, and I was reposting the same content, and there is no rhyme or reason to what blows up on TikTok and what blows up on Instagram, and it never correlates. If it goes crazy on Instagram, it's not doing shit on TikTok. If it goes crazy on TikTok, it's not doing shit on Instagram. But there's no way to tell. You can post the same exact content. So that's why it's helpful to just
post on all platforms.
Throw 2 lures in the water. Yeah. Might as well.
We got.
Is it hard to get a lift as an influencer? So this is like the abbreviated version of the question, but someone said like, is it really true that, you know, when influencers are trying to work out, they can't really get a good workout in? I have much to say for sure, but
yeah, to some extent,
I think it definitely depends on the influencer. It depends on the reputation. It depends on the mood that they're in and everything like that. It depends on a lot of factors. I think the biggest thing, it depends on the influencer. If you're stupid famous, and you're at a gym where everyone knows you, like you're not going to get through an hour and a half workout without being interrupted a dozen times. It's just not going to happen. If you're a smaller creator and you love talking to people, I love talking to people. So if I go to the gym, I'm fully expecting to have 15 conversations, but I do enjoy that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it depends on the person.
Yeah, I enjoy like if anyone knows me, I'm always talking because I still can't believe that anyone even fucking knows who the fuck I am or wants a picture. Like that's But like first time I worked out with Sush, I remember it was just me and him training, and we stopped like fucking 20 times to take a photo. In my head, I'm like, this gotta be annoying, right? But then I'm also like,
it's a job.
It's the coolest thing ever. Like you're getting recognized for the work that you're doing. So. Does it get annoying? Wait, what's the question? Is it hard to get lifting?
Yes. I think definitively
for sure. Especially at Alphaland.
But is that okay? Yeah, of course it's okay.
Yes, but it all depends on the influencer, like how they're feeling that day, or just I know someone like Max Taylor, for example. Like he's so fucking nice. Like he literally will take time to talk to every single person. Like he'll talk to 50 people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But then you have people who I'm not gonna say names, but they take the gym more serious. And it's almost like, all right, let's get this pic and then like fuck off.
Yeah. And you should know if you follow that person enough to go up and say what's up, like you should know generally like how they feel about that situation. It's sort of like your responsibility to know and sort of read the room, right? Like, is this person in the middle of something, or are they at the water fountain? You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Just a couple more here. Do people act different in person versus on social media? I think it really depends.
Yeah. I would say 95% of people I met that I knew from social media were pretty much who I thought they'd be in a good way. But then you got that 5% who are just like super not genuine. They're not who they are. They play a character, and it's so easy to read when you meet them. But for the most part, everyone I think is pretty much the same person they are on social media as in person. Yeah.
Again, it's so heavily impacted on the person and the day, right? Like if you're an influencer having a terrible day, for example, and 10 people want to go up and say what's up to you, and they all get that vibe that you're having a bad day, and that's their only interaction with you, then that becomes like, they're going to go and tell their friends and be like, oh, I met so-and-so and they were kind of a dick.
Yeah.
And it's like, so like, that's hard. So like, even when we meet influencers for the first time, like I can never tell, are they in a really good mood? Are they having a bad day? So again, generally, like you said, people are who they are, but you can definitely smell like the if it's not legitimate.
You got to read also when you're approaching the person, like what were they just doing? Who were they just with, or where are they coming from, or what moods do they look like they're in?
Yeah.
You know, everyone's human, you know? You're not going to catch everyone on the best day, but also don't be afraid to go up to your favorite influencer. Like always, I recommend everybody. If you see someone you know, or you see Sush in the gym, go say hi, you know, but make sure it's the right time. Make sure, and always introduce yourself. That's my big thing. Like people come up and they're like, Sush, got a picture. Like, dude, say your name first, you know, like give them a high five, say what's up, say a little something, and then ask for the picture. But
if you see us, we talk about it a lot. Like we really do appreciate the fact that people even want to say what's up to us, or say like, hey, the podcast means a lot to me, and like that means the most for us, for sure, 100%.
I met Method Man the other day. And I, like in my head, I'm like, all right, what do I do? Like I'm like my own steps, like I'm practicing what I preach. So I went up to him. I waited till he was doing like calf raises. So I was like waiting. I kept like peeking and like, all right, he's done. So he got up. He like, I waited like, all right, 1, 2, 3. I like counted in my head, and then I went up and I'm like, hey, Meth, like my name's Joe. I shook his hand. Hey, Joe, nice to meet you. Like I'm a big fan. I don't want to interrupt your work. I was like, no, don't worry. I was like, can I get a quick pic? Yeah, of course, bro. And like that's how you do it. You know, you don't just go up and be like, yo, Meth, can I get a picture?
Yeah.
No, like get to know them. Like say your name and introduce yourself.
And then if you see him again, like all you can do is, you know.
Next time I see him, Joe, what up, bro?
Yeah, that's it.
I'm a fucking pass out. if he says my name next time I see him, I'm fucking faint. But
I mean that's pretty much gonna wrap us up. There's some other questions in here that we could have gone through, but I think that was a good little brief. What do we got? 30? Right on.
Little Q&A, but this is obviously not even close to what we plan on doing. We plan on doing more.
A little more structure,
more advanced, more structure, possible like mukbangs where we're eating, we got food on the table, we're talking, we could do like food ratings and stuff like that, like different fun shit. But obviously still gonna run the normal legacy podcast with our guests and everything. But we're gonna mix in like sub playlists of like different things, like Q&A playlist, or we'll have like a mukbang playlist, or have a.
So it'd be really helpful. Drop comments with what you guys might want to see for any of those videos, or even new ideas in like entirely.
Yeah, we want to make what you guys want to see. So just make sure you're communicating with us, comment, DM. I promise we will answer.
Someone's going ham on the microwave right now. That's going to conclude Q&A episode 1 potentially. So thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate your engagement. Appreciate your suggestions. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Next episode's a banger. So get ready.
Peace.
All right, guys. If you made it this far, we want to thank you for tuning into the pod. And we want to thank our sponsor again, Blue Mon. So give these a try, guys. Seriously, we stand behind them, and we know that you will too.
The one thing that Blue Mon does that nobody else does is they have their pre-styling products. We have the Volumizing Ascend Cream again and the Maracai Original Styler. Guys, if you've never tried a pre-styler before, really give it a try. It helps hold that look that you're really looking for when you use your post-styling products. Give it a try. And we know, guys, there's tons of products out there, which is why we highly recommend the Discovery Kit. You can try the pre-styler along with all the post-stylers that Blue Mon has to offer to find what works best for you and your style.
Yeah, so once again, we just want to thank you guys for all the support. Like, you're helping us grow this platform to a point where now we have a sponsor for the pod, which is incredible. So I hope you guys understand that this ad is part of the business now, and this is a company we support, and we want to give them a platform, and it's a great product, guys. So give it a try. Code Legacy, run it up.
Don't forget, if you guys use Code Legacy for 10%, send us a message.
Yeah, send it
for
to
real.
us, bro.
We want to know
Seriously.
when you guys want to try it out. And we want to know your feedback and how everything goes.
Oh yeah, appreciate you guys. Code Legacy. See you in the next one.
Peace.